It would surprise many Americans to know that it was not uncommon in 1930s Germany to see the Nazi flag in churches. And that's because religion and politics had become so intertwined. Here's another picture of a Nazi flag next to a child who had just been baptized. And here's a picture of Adolf Hitler walking out of a church. Dietrich Bonhoeffer and the Confessing Church proclaimed something different, an authentic religion, an authentic Christianity that was not tied to Nazism. But a lot of churches and a lot of pastors were complicit with what was going on in Germany's politics just because the religion and politics had been so tied together. It's very common in the United States today to walk into a church and to see an American flag. And when we see that, it ought to be setting off alarm bells because that's really a representation of Christian nationalism. It's dangerous whenever religion and politics get tied so closely together because the church at its best is supposed to speak the truth and love to the principalities and the powers. It is supposed to follow the teachings of Jesus, to always care for those who are marginalized, and no matter who is in power, ought to be able to name those places where the government is falling short, to congratulate the government and the place where it's doing well, but always to name those places where we are not living into our call to care for those who are the most in need. And if religion is too intimately tied to politics, it can't do that. It can't do what it ought to do best. So, as we move forward as a country, we need to be extremely careful not to allow religion and politics to continue to conflate together, and we have got to combat Christian nationalism.